Okay, so in this experiment, we're going to be changing some file types in order to show that this changes what program is used with the file. Note that in this experiment, you should only use files that you don't care about. It's extremely unlikely that you could damage anything in the experiment, but at the same time, it's better to be safe than sorry. Okay, so I'm going to be using File Explorer in this experiment, so let me go and open it. All right, there's File Explorer. Now, the first thing we need to do is set up File Explorer to show file types. So in order to do that, we go into the View tab, click on View, and now go over to File Name Extension and click on that checkbox. And now the complete file name is shown. The part before the full stop and the part after the full stop, that's the file extension. Okay, so the extension for this file here is docx, and that indicates that this is a Microsoft Word document. The extension for this file here, as you see, is JPG, and that indicates that this is a photo. And then the extension for this file here is MP3, and that indicates that that's a music track. Okay, so let's open each of these files in turn to prove that they are what they say they are, that they are what the file extension says what they are. All right, so I'll move the cursor to select this document, this file here, and now I'll double click and see what program opens. And there's Microsoft Word. It's open to display the document. Okay. Now I do the same thing, move the mouse pointer to select this document, and now to select this file, and I double click on it and see what program opens. And there you go, the Photos program is open to display this photo. All right, and now again, move the mouse cursor, left click to select the file, and then double click to open the file and see what program opens. And there, the Groove Music program is opened. Okay, so the correct program has opened for each of those files. So now we need to be able to change the file extension. In order to do that, I'm going to use File Explorer's Edit File Name mode. And the entrance to that mode is a two-stage process. First, select the file's extension we want to change. Do this by placing the mouse pointer on the file name and then left-clicking with the mouse. The selected file is now shown in a light blue background. The second step is to left-click on the selected file. Now we are in File Rename mode. In this mode, File Explorer shows the first part of the file name with a dark blue background, there it is, and the extension in ordinary background, there is the extension. That makes sense, since you should not normally want to change the extension. So File Explorer is steering you to editing the first part of the file name and not the extension. Okay, so now let's change the extension from MP3 to docx. docx. Click return. Okay, now since changing the extension is such a fundamental thing, File Explorer issues a dialog asking you if you really want to do this. Well, in our case we do, so select yes. Now there's the extension changed. So now if we try and open this file, let's see what happens. Okay, the file's already selected, so we just double click in order to get File Explorer to open it. Double click. Now, File Explorer tries to open the file. It reads the extension docx, sees that that's the extension for Word, and gets Word to try and open the document. However, Word, when it tries to read the instructions inside the file, sees that these are meaningless instructions for it, and it issues a dialog to that effect. This dialog asks you if you want to try and recover the document, but that's impossible in this case. This is not a document, it's an MP3 file, and if we did try and recover it, we would simply corrupt the file. It would become neither a Word document nor an MP3 file. So we select no for this option. Word then finally issues a little dialogue about some instructions as to how to recover the document, but we don't want to do that, so just close, and finally just close Word. Now let me change the extension back to the correct value, back to MP3. So the file is selected, so let me click on the selected file to get into file rename mode. Okay, let me change the docx back to MP3. Now it's got the correct extension. Now everything should run okay. That is, when I double click on the file, the Groove Music program should open and the file should be played, the track should be played. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, there you go. Now let's repeat the experiment with a different file, with this photo file, which has the extension JPG. Okay, so look, first of all, let me prove that this is a photo. I'll double click on the file to open it and see what happens. And there you go, it's a photo file. Okay, let me just close the app. Now let me go into file rename mode. Okay, change JPG to DOCX. Okay, I want to change it. Now, if I try and double click on the file, Word will open and we'll find a problem. There's Word opening and there's the problem dialog. And again, we don't want to try and recover the file. We're going to select no here. Okay, and close Word. Now, let's change this back to the correct extension. JPG. And again, if I double click on the file, everything is back working. There's the photo opening again. All right. So now you see there's no magic involved in the laptop figuring out what program to use on a file. If you give it the wrong instruction by changing the file extension, the laptop blindly follows the instruction.